Hey guys, my name is Ben Howard. Today we're out here at Dolly Cooper to play the back nine with the next disc from Goliath discs. This one being the ChainBreaker. This disc is very interesting disc and it's very fun. And I'll see if you can guess based off of its profile, because this thing is an absolute beefcake. Like, I'm not talking Firebird levels of overstability. I'm talking almost tilt levels of overstability out of this thing. I can throw this thing on a ton of anhyzer and it will still fight all the way out and fade out to a knifing hyzer angle. And it's actually really useful on this section of the course because there's a lot of shots where you want to throw something kind of high, but you don't want a lot of left to right movement or right to left movement. You want the disc to basically just fall out of the sky. And that's basically what this disc does. So if you're interested in checking these out or any other discs made by Goliath, I've got their link down in the description. Please go check them out. Use my code BenHoward10. I'll get you 10% off your order. But let's go and get in the video. All right, guys, we're on hole 10. This one's a par 3, 305 feet. Basket's just straight ahead. Biggest thing you got to do off the tee is decide which side of this tree you want to go on. I'm going to put this on about 45 degrees of anhyzer on forehand out to the left, just trying to get the fade back to the right without going in the tree line long. Just like that. Ooh, got a massive skip too. Should be good though. Okay, so we got about maybe a little over 100 feet left, so just going to do another little chip shot. Just got to be careful about the landing with this one because it's so overstable, it's getting down to the ground a lot faster. So it's still going to have a lot of speed once it hits the ground, so just got to try and keep it from going long. Sit down. Ooh, okay, kind of rolled, but we're still like 20 feet. All right, guys, so for hole 11, we got a par 3, 210 feet. Going way uphill with the basket being on the side of this hill, you can see off to the left. Really what we're trying to do is get something through this gap and have it finish left before this tree you can see ahead of us. If I get just in front of that, it should be like at the base of the hill or somewhere on the hill with have like an inside the circle putt. But with the ChainBreaker, I'm gonna have to go with a bunch of anhyzer through that gap, just try and see if I can get it to swing back for that tree, which it should. Just like that. I think did I hit a tree or something? Sounded like it hit something hard, and I rolled back down to the base of the hill, but I'll still have a putt. I'll pull it. All right, guys, so we're on hole 12. This one's a par 3, 290 feet. Basically, we're going through this gap, the basket tucked off to the left, a good maybe right at about 100 feet. Biggest mistake you don't want to make is going long on this hole, because those trees long will catch you, drop you down, and the ground right there will slope away from the basket. So if you're unlucky, you can end up like almost 200 feet from the basket. The nice part about the ChainBreaker is that it's not going to get to that tree line at all. So even if I put on some anhyzer, so I can just hit this nose down, good amount of anhyzer, just get it flex out, get past that tree around the corner, and just fade off to the basket. Nose up. Oh, there we go. Fell straight down, so I have a pretty easy approach shot from there. All right, so I'm not close enough to where I can use my putting putter, and I would probably like to go forehand, but I don't want to go off to the right like I talked about earlier, so I'm just going to try and do a little forehand skip shot. Just try not to impale my hand on this Bradford pear. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, guys, so on hole 13, this one's a par 3, about 380 feet. It's about 60 feet to the right of these two trees you can see straight in front of us. So I'm not going to be able to get there. So I'm just going to try and put this out in the middle and then give myself easy approach shot in the green. Just like that. That's it. I think it's sat. If it's sat, that'll be really good. So I ended up putting myself a little bit farther than I would have liked off the tee. Because as you can tell, the ground slopes from left to right on this green. So I want to throw a backhand on this, but in order to do that, I'm going to have to go into these branches now. But going forehand is not an option because it will skip down the hill. So just got to be smooth and careful in this one. Oh, I pulled the crap out of that. Please skip left. I think it did. Holy crap, that was so lucky. Okay, so not as lucky as I would have liked, but we still got it. But let's get it. Get left. Ah, man. Just pulling my putts just a tiny bit. That one felt a lot more on line than the other one, but don't want to make excuses, but it has been extremely cold lately, so probably just a little stiff. Just gotta get a little more warmed up. All right, guys, so we're on hole 14. This one's a par 3, about 350 feet, give or take. This one, we're just trying to push straight up until we get to these trees you can see straight in front of us. Then we want to fade off of them and get down to like this little bowl area with the basket being on the other side of that bowl. So this is another one I'm probably not going to get to, but I can get myself pretty close, maybe like 100 feet. So I might be able to put it to the point where I can give it a run, but you're gonna have to go the same shot I've been throwing all day, just a ton of Anheuser high, try and get the nose down. Better, still nose up, but that hit the line the fairway demands pretty good, so I'll probably be like 100 feet out. Okay, so I was right, about 100 feet out. So give this a little bit of a bid though. It's got a nice backstop. Ah, dang it. Ooh, good catch. All right, guys, we're on hole 15. This one's a par 3, about 195 feet. This is one of the holes that made me want to play this course, or this section of this course for this video, because kind of like a shorter version of the last hole, but mirrored, because we're going through, following the fairway off to the right with the basket kind of being a little bowl over here. But best play is to go over the top with a forehand, but if you're going up high with something that's fast or overstable, it's pretty easy to go too far right. This thing won't go too far right at all. I can hit this just flat, hard, high over this pine tree right here, and it'll get over to the right far enough and then just stick into the ground. Let's just see if I can do it. Just like that. That might be like a little short, but that's well within the circle. Ooh, there we go. All right, guys, so we're on hole 16. This one's a par 3, about 230 feet just straight ahead. I'm gonna go with the chop forehand out to the left, just because there's a drop off the left side, which doesn't really come into play, but it can. And also, I don't really want to throw at the tree line because that, I believe it is out of bounds. I don't know how it's marked, but there's out of bounds over there, and you can hit and fall straight down where there's really nothing off to the left that I have to worry about. So let's go ahead and park it. Sit down. Don't. I didn't see it skip, but it might have skipped off to the right, so might have a long putt at it. We'll see. Get there. Yes, let's go. Pick up the disc. All right, guys, so we're on hole 17. This one's a par 3, about 395 feet. You see it straight ahead. This one, I'm not going to be able to get it there. But if there's a good landing zone off to the left side of the basket, short of that hill, where I'll have just like a pretty easy approach shot in the green. So that's where I'm going to try and land. But I'm going to try and just rip this on, like, maybe not this much anhyzer, but as much anhyzer as I can get out of it. Just try and give it a good amount of height and just try and get that nose down. See if I can see how far we can get it. No, that was terrible. Dang it. I was really looking forward to that. I just weenied it. Sit. Okay. That's fine. That was a good stick, because if it went any farther, I would have gone down the hill and had like a circle boat with like 10 trees in my way. So, let's see if we can make this though. Ah, man. I like the height on my hand. At the basket. There it is. Maybe I should have put it with this all around. All right, guys, we're on hole 18, final hole of the video. This one's a par 3, 250 feet, just straight ahead for me. As you can tell, it's pretty far downhill, and so the play that most people take is just throw something overstable out to the right, just try and get the finish back to the left. Nice thing about this one is it's going to do that pretty well, and I'm going to have to give it a little bit of anhyzer just to make sure that I get the actual distance I need. But if I had a little bit more power, I could probably just throw this flat out to the right, and it would get down just perfect and stick right inside that little rock circle you can see. But let's see, just a baby anhyzer, we'll be all set. That was not, I don't think that came out any anhyzer at all. It also came out super early for some reason. Ugh, I felt gross. Well, I guess I spoke too soon, because I mean, I'm basically pin high. Just a little bit farther left than I would have liked, obviously, but it's not a bad shot at all. Still got a putt. Get left. Ah, man, almost. Let's go. All right, guys, that finished up a round out here with the ChainBreaker. As y'all can probably tell, I really didn't need to throw this disc a bunch of times for you to figure out what this thing can do. It's going to be overstable. It's going to get down to the ground extremely fast. But as you could probably tell in like a few holes, this thing has some really nice utility that I don't know if you can get out of a lot of other discs. This is a really nice disc just for that really overstable, just something you really don't need but like once or twice around, but it's going to get you out of like those really bad spots that you can get in every once in a while. And the nice thing is, like, a lot of people were complaining about the tilt, saying it was useless, like it's just too overstable. I feel like this disc is what those people wanted, just that something that will fight out of every angle you put it on, will get down to the ground on a spike hyzer angle, but I can get 250 to 300 feet out of it if I throw it right. So really, really fun disc. Highly recommend this if you're just looking for just that stupidly overstable disc. But like I said at the beginning, link to Goliath discs down in the description. Use my code BenHoward10, it'll get you 10% off your order. So please go check them out. Thank y'all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and y'all have a good one. Bye.